Hello everyone, I am Brandon Espinosa, and today we are going to present the topic language assessment principle. The first we go by the order of the document index. Introduction, creator of the language assessment principle, the language assessment of the principle, scenarios of how to use it, summarize, and biography. There is about introduction to topic assessment. The principle of assessment revolves around evaluation so one understanding, skills, or performance against predefined criteria. It aims to be practicality, reliability, validity, authenticity, and washback. Assessment principles include clarity or the purpose, alignment with a learning objective, validity of the assessment method, reliability in scoring fairness evaluation, improving structure the feedback for improvement. This is a principle ensure that assessment accurately measure what they intend to assess and provide valuable insight for both learning and educators. Today is about the creator of the language assessment principle, practicality by Lily Baham and Vivian Palmer 2010. Reliability by H. Douglas Brown and Rick Brown 2010. Validity by Samuel H. Misher in 1989. Authenticity by Lai Baham and Ram Palmer 2010. Washback by Lily Baham and Doug Bond in 2018. In Shining 21. The creator of the practicality, like Baham and Ram Palmer in 2010, having enough people and the thing to make language tests is important. If they aren't enough, it's hard to do the express fairly. Baham and Palmer in 2010 say that having the right amount of people, staff, and time is key to making tests working well. For example, giving a long written test when 14 students may not work because it's taking too much time to create understand reading, especially if the teacher has another thing to do like planning lesson. The creator of reliability, H. Douglas Brown and Albert Kerry Rama 2010. Reliability in determining of measurement is determined statistically and reliability evolution constructively and concludes language skills and provide clear, accurate result of interpretation regarding students' language professional tests consistent and apply when the assessment administered twice under similar conditions with the same students wherever as only 22 points. Of it practicable for teacher to conduct assessment twice for intense if two teacher and a student final insight, each insight recite two score if the score is very significantly. The creator of the validity is Samuel H. Masick, 1989. The primary importance of the language assessment lies in their validity. Without validity and assessment of little value initially, validity was defined as the ability of an instrument to measure its intent target of interference. H. Douglas Brown and Abraham Drama 2010 Legume in 1961, whatever Messick in 1989, perspective and validity with organic promises posed in 1989 emphasized the clarity and justification of score interpretation for interpretation to be valid. Assessment must effectively engage students' language skills at the central focus. Backham Empowerment 2010. The creator of the authenticity, Lightning Backham and Rainy Empowerment 2010. Authenticity pregnant to help closely and assessment aligns with a real-world language use including its intents, text, and tags. Within a specific target language use, TLU domains evaluation students' ability to apply language skills and particular context is crucial for language assessment, making authenticity a key aspect according to Backhand Empowerment 2010. The creator of the washback, like Backhand Barbara Bancon 2018, the influence of the assessments of teaching and learning community referring to as washback can have varied effects either positive or negative. This impact extends beyond the individual level on the compass broader application for society and cost determined. Conceptual validity by Smensic in 1989 and discussed by Anderson and Webb in 1983. The probability perspective suggests that language assessment should lead to probability assessment for all stakeholders with a particular emphasis on aiding the employment to the students, language professionals, and language classroom. Back home in 2018, Tsunami in 21. Forever, this a continued again using assessment socially as tools of authority, such as for disciplining students, the classroom, the behavior. Tsunami 21. Now it's about the definition of the age principal assessment. Practicality, reliability, validity, authenticity, and washback. It is about the language assessment principle. Practicality. The practicality in context of the language assessment refers to the extent to which assessment principle can be favorably applied in real world setting. It encompasses factors such as efficiency, convenience, cost-effectiveness, and ease of administration, ensuring that assessment can be implemented effectively and reliably with the diverse educational or professional environment. Efficient. Assessment should be efficient in determining the time required for administration, scoring, and result dissemination. This ensures that they do not rest for regular education or professional activity. Convenience. The assessment progress should be convenient for both administration and test taker. This includes factors such as scheduling, flexibility, accessibility of the testing location, the ease of the test delivery, cost effectiveness. Assessment should be offered good value for to resources investments. This involves balancing the cost of the development, administration, scoring, and interpretation and get their benefit again from assessment results. Ease of the administration. Assessment should be easy to administer with clear introduction and minimal administrative burden. This ensures the administration can be focused on facilitating the assessment process rather than a deadline with the legislation challenge. Reliability. Reliability is the language assessment and fundamental ensuring and that test results are dependable and consist encompasses various aspects, such as international consistency, the rested reliability, interactive reliability, and equivalent reliability across different versions of the test. International consistency measure tests ensuring that they all access the same control. Test ability assess whether individual would score similarly when taking same different acquisition. Reflection the stability of the assessment over time. Inter-rider reliability. Examine agreement between different writers scoring the same test, ensuring consistency across different evaluators. Equivalence reliability suggests that different versions of the test are comparable in difficulty. and contests thus show the similar score regardless of the version taken. This is validity. Validity is in the language assessment and crucial for ensuring that the result obtained from a test accurately reflect to skills, knowledge, or ability to begin measure. It encompasses several aspects. Content validity. This is referring to extent to which the test intent represents the content the main its aims are to assess. Ability language tests should be cover comprehension range of the topic language functional and skill relevant to the professional level begin test. Control validity. The control degree to which the test measures the underlying control of the trained clients to answers for a language test. This includes control such as vocabulary, knowledge, grammatically, scholarly, fluency and communication competence. Criteria relative validity. This answers the extent to which the score correlates with some external criteria, such as performance in real-life language use or another established measure of language professional. For example, an very English professional test should be correct which actually ability communication effective in English. Faces validity. The referring to pure superficial appearance of the way this appears to measure what is the claim to measure, with no strong dedicate of ability or it can influence the stake in professional motivation. Concurrent validity. This type of the criteria relative validity examines the relationship between the score and criteria measured at the same time. Predictive validity. This type of the criteria relative validity examines the extent to which the score predicts future performance of the relative criterion. There is about the authenticity in the language assessment is a criteria principle. The accurate assessment task material and conditional closely resembling real-life language use situation is intel designing assessment tasks that are relevant and measurable to learning library of lecturing a language they will encounter and use authenticity context. By anterior to authenticity assessment and to a comprehension produce interactive in the language and way that align with the main of real world communication and particularly terming this may involve in the corporation real life scenarios, giving communication, tasks, and culturally appropriate content into assessment, ultimately ensuring their validity and reliability. For example, of the natural language in a real interaction can be seen following dialogue. What is your name? Or say, where are you live? I live in Managua. This is washback. Washback in the real language assessment principle, referring to impact the assessment have on the teacher and learning. Positive washback occurred when the assessment motivates the student to learn and teacher to adapt their teaching method to align with the assessment content and the structure. The second leader provide learning outcomes to a more effective curriculum. On the other hand, negative washback occur when assessment creating on stress or assertive teaching to the test, leading to shallow learning and narrow focus on the test preparation rather than deeper understanding. Understanding crucial for designing assessment that provide meaningful learning and for fostering positive learning environment. This This is about the scenario how to use it. For example, practicality in the classroom, reliability review, validity vocabulary question, authenticity classroom debate, washback project-based presentation. This is a scenario of the particularity in the classroom. The principal entered the classroom during English class to observe language assessment principle in the action. The teacher conducted a speaking activity where the students pair up to discuss on the topic. The teacher provides clear introduction, ensuring students understand the task and criteria for assessment. As students converse, the teacher regulates listening attentively and taking notes, influencing curiosity and interaction. After the activity, the teacher provides constructive feedback to each pair, highlighting challenges and areas for improvement based on the assessment criteria. The principal observes the effective implementation of the language assessment principle, promotion the students' engagement and learning. In scenario of the reliability, peer review. The instructor implements a peer review activity to assess students' oral representation skills. Students are divided into the peer and the task with the ability to share presentation on a certain topic. Before the presentation begins, the instructor discusses the concept and reliability and language assessment, emphasizing the need for a consistent evaluation. To score reliability, the instructor provides students with a clear link outlining specific criteria for evaluation presentation, such as leading organization and pronunciation. This is a scenario validity quiz. This is a vocabulary quiz. Um, in the classroom, teacher gives the student a vocabulary quiz to answer the understanding of the basically learning words. The quiz aims carefully designing to measure specific language skills and concepts down the class, usually and validity as a language assessment tools. This is a scenario density. Classroom debate. Students engage in the lively debate on the controversial issues where they must present argument and concurrent using artistic language to persuade their peers and the teacher. This is a scenario of the washback. The project-based presentation. The teacher assigning a project where students have to research and topic, create a presentation and deliver it to the class. The assessment focuses not only on the language professional, but also the critical thinking research and skills and oral communication by emphasizing real-world communication and application language skills. The assessment method assigned with the principle of the washback by motivation students to develop language ability in meaningful context. This is a summary at the all the representation the language assessment principle is in the learning activity. We learned that in effective assessment should involve practicality, reality, validity, authenticity, and positive washback. Practically a cost focus such as discuss, time and contrast, easy administration, human resource, test controls, and scoring simplicity. Reliability includes student factor, actors interaction, writer consistency, test administration, reliability, and the test integrate validity take various forms, including context validity, criteria relative validity, concurrent and predict concurrent validity, and face validity, authenticity, and face validity. Authenticity employing natural language, contextually test intents, reality topic, thematic coherence, real world task. Lastly, washback reference to the assessment impact to teaching, learning learners, or socially. While the meaning of the test criteria can be challenging, it's recommended that the assessment criteria incorporation on the many of the characteristics specific for optimal effectiveness.